Now, YouTube, it has a feature that allows a YouTube uploader to hide comments, and nobody will be able to see that comment except for the commenter themselves. I've actually used this feature before. For example, right? I did a video where I wanted to show honor to the creator of Persepolis, Marjane Satrapi. She passed away this year, and I wasn't going to tolerate any comments that were insulting her death. Not under my video. That's just, I'm not going to, tolerate that kind of disrespect. You can insult me and stuff, but don't be insulting a dead person who actually, try to make the world a better place. I've also, shadow banned certain YouTube comments because there's this one time, right? I did a video on Skitty Bitty a while back, and one of Skitty's fans, we got into like a little comment argument war or something like that. It was a little one. It only lasted for like, I don't know, 30 minutes or an hour. And then the Skitty Bitty fan revealed that they were like 14 or 15, and in the back of my head, I'm like, wait, I'm arguing with a fucking kid here, and I shadow ban that person because I don't want kids to be watching my video, especially commenting under this video. I feel like kids should not be allowed to comment under videos. I know that's pot calling the kettle black here because when I was a kid, I literally did the same thing. But, I feel like I wish instead of commenting under videos all day, I would have gone outside more, socialized more, instead of just staying on YouTube all day. I feel like if you're a kid, you definitely shouldn't be watching my videos or commenting under my videos. You should be, going outside, or if you're more introverted, go read a book, or, play a game, or instead of commenting, go on YouTube and like watch a movie or something that you like. Don't freaking comment, So why did I bring this up? Because I'm not perfect. I've shadow banned comments before. It happens. And I think just about every other YouTuber has done it at some point. Synthetic Man has done it to me. I know because when I comment under his video, I can't see my comment when I use another account. Plenty of YouTubers have shadow banned me. I think I did a video on it. Anyway, we have Video Game Dunkey, who is a YouTube critic, makes a living criticizing people's games. And he's also had a history of insulting people and sending his fans to go after people. And he can't take criticism at all, despite the fact that Dunkey is a millionaire who's well off, fat, has a, decent looking girlfriend or wife or whatever. And the guy actually filters his own comments. I know this because back in the day, when I left, mean comments under his video, they just disappeared. Let's look at his Last of Us 2 review. This review has a lot of dislikes, even for a Video Game Dunkey standards. And if you go into the comment section, notice how all the top comments are just, miraculously positive or just making a same joke, And this is because Dunkey actually filters his comments. And you might be thinking, well, wait a second. How do you know that? I mean, the video has more likes than dislikes. But just because a video has more likes than dislikes doesn't mean that the comments are going to be positive. Usually, when a video has an overwhelming amount of dislikes, it's usually the negative comments that reach the top. So, for example, right, look at literally any IGN review. Even when the review has a lot of likes, the top comments are usually mocking IGN or making fun of IGN and talking about how incompetent they are. It doesn't matter what IGN says. The top comments, at least nowadays, will always be negative. This is because IGN is actually okay with negativity. People who hate watch IGN actually, still help out with funding IGN because they give IGN views. And as incompetent and as horrible as IGN reviews are, I gotta give them credit. They don't filter comments or delete them. When that Last of Us 2 video came out, there were actually a lot of top comments that were negative and disagreeing with the video, and they just disappeared. This is because Dunkey either deletes the comments himself, which I hope he doesn't, because if you're a millionaire, why are you messing around in comments? Or he hires a mod. In YouTube, if you're a YouTuber, you can actually have someone mod your comment section, and that modder can literally delete or shadow ban any comments that they want. That's very pathetic, scummy behavior, in my opinion. Because the thing is, YouTube doesn't let you know when your comments have been permanently hidden under someone's YouTube account. The only way you can find out if your comment's been hidden or not is if you leave a comment, then you sign out of your account, and then you go back to the video to see if your comment is still there. If it's still there, you haven't been deleted. If it's not, then yeah, you most likely been permabanned. You said something to upset a YouTuber. But still, though, what I find ironic is that Dunkey is a critic. He's insulted people in the past. He sent his fans after others, and he's made fun of multiple people for having different taste than him, which is perfectly okay because I do the same thing as well. But when you filter your comments for doing the exact same thing that you do, while also being a rich, well-off YouTuber, I feel like someone has to call that out, because that kind of behavior, is just really pathetic. And the thing about Dunkey is that he wants to be in like a nice little safe space. He wants to live in an echo chamber where people just repeat the same boring, lame jokes and memes while also giving him praise. Because the thing about Dunkey, right? He's surprisingly cowardly, right? For example, one time he posted a spoiler for the game Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Then he cowardly deleted the post. Then another time when EFAT when they did a podcast, criticizing Dunkey and making fun of him, Dunkey actually reacted to the podcast by pretending to fall asleep, which was very weird and pathetic. I feel like in that kind of situation, you should either ignore the podcast in general or actually challenge the podcasters. And the thing is, Dunkey can't send his fan base after EFAP or Mahler. Those people are way too big, and they're just, in my opinion, they're a lot smarter than Dunkey is, and they will tear him apart in a debate. So, yeah, Dunkey reacted to EFAP by literally pretending to sleep, which made him look like a complete retard, to be honest. One time, Dunkey actually accused Sonic fans of review bombing Sonic Frontiers that in order to make Dunkey look bad. What? That made no sense. He also deleted that as well. One of Dunkey's most controversial reviews would be of the game Octopath Traveler, where he greatly misrepresented the game and, blatantly did not understand certain mechanics. And when a person called him out for it, this guy, he only had like 1,000 subscribers, and Dunkey decided to call him out in a video, despite the fact that Dunkey is not only a millionaire, but has millions of subscribers as well and is fat and living well off and whatnot. And Dunkey decided to, send his child army to go after this guy and review bomb him or, mass dislike him. That's a very shitty thing to do. And it's very telling, too. The fact that this small YouTuber who nobody even really knew about, managed to get under Dunkey's skin. The guy who's a millionaire, the guy who has so many subscribers. The fact that this small channel got under Dunkey's skin is very telling. It goes to show that Dunkey is, just very insecure. If I was like a millionaire and I had a lot of YouTube subscribers, I wouldn't really be focusing on small channels, This is literally punching down. And, it's crazy to me that Dunkey actually got away with this shitty behavior. Dunkey also has a habit of cherry-picking comments that disagree with him. You see, instead of picking the comments for a video that are intelligent and reasonable, he usually goes after the more immature, dumb comments. He cherry-picks comments instead of just actually debating the more reasonable comments. And I'm going to show you that in his Last of Us 2 video, where he responds to the comments and the negative feedback that he got for that review.
Now, when I reviewed Last of Us 2, I rattled the monkey cage pretty good. This is my most disliked video ever, which is a little weird to me. I've been talking shit on beloved games for years, and people have been getting pissed off at me for years, but it wasn't until I actually liked the game that people really started freaking out. I Am Monkey God, along with 300 other people, calls me a sellout.
I do agree that Dunkey is a sellout in the show, but to give Dunkey here the benefit of a doubt, there are crazy people online who will hate you automatically for liking a shitty game like The Last of Us 2. The problem is, though, is that why do you let these people get to you, Dunkey? Like, just ignore them. There were actually plenty of reasonable comments that did respectfully disagree with you, but you or someone who mods your comments, because I don't even think you really edit your own videos nowadays, they just, like, the reasonable comments, they literally disappeared.
It's me, baby. Video game Dunkey. Remember the guy who self-destructed his sponsorship with Microsoft when I couldn't even pay my rent? If I was a sellout, you know what I would do? I would read the room, go, oh look, everyone hates this game, and pander to fucking idiots.
I'm sorry, what? No, the people that hate it on the game, they're not the sellouts. They're the ones being honest with their opinions. And look, I understand that Dunkey is being honest with his opinion because he genuinely likes The Last of Us 2. But the sellouts are the ones that praise The Last of Us 2. The sellouts are the ones that work in IGN, GameSpot, whatever mainstream game journalist outlet there is. They're the ones who literally gave The Last of Us 2 10 out of 10s or 9 out of 10s, despite the fact that The Last of Us 2 is one of the worst written games of all time and doesn't even really innovate or change anything from a gameplay point of view. And there's been multiple moments in the gaming industry where it's been proven that a lot of these mainstream critics either get paid off or they don't even, finish the games that they review. Some of them even got caught plagiarizing, like that one time an IGN reviewer got plagiarizing someone who reviewed the game Dead Cells.
You're stupid. Now, Jerome's makes an excellent point here. I am kind of stupid when you think about it. Although he did put the wrong "your."
Is this nigga really being a grammar police? Like, come on, I haven't even done that in a long time. Like, that's such a stupid thing to, point out.
I don't even understand what this person is trying to even type. I don't know. Oh, the reason people dislike the story is because Joel wouldn't be so stupid to tell a random armed posse suspiciously chilling outside of their stronghold his name and what he's doing. Okay, so here is someone making an argument instead of whining like a little baby. I've seen a lot of people share this sentiment that it's completely out of character for Joel to die how he does, which is kind of funny to me, because to me the most jarring, most bizarre part of this game was where Joel busts in with a guitar and starts playing a song and singing. This is not what Joel does. He doesn't do this. Now the Joel...
Wow, Dunkey really is starting to sound like a mainstream game journalist because... he's showing signs that he actually didn't really play The Last of Us 2. Mainstream game journalists usually don't play the games that they review, so it makes sense that Dunkey is becoming like this. There's literally a part in the first game where Joel tells Ellie that he wanted to be a singer, and now that they're in a more relaxed environment, it does make sense for Joel to pull out the guitar. It still doesn't make sense for Joel to lose his survival instincts and senses because there's still hunters and there's still a zombie apocalypse going on, I can believe Joel playing a guitar in a safe environment over him just randomly trusting a bunch of strangers with guns. And look, you might be thinking something stupid like, well, Joel trusted Henry and Sam in the first game. Well, that's because Henry and Sam were literally in the exact same situation as Joel and Ellie were. Like, a man trying to survive with a child is way more trustworthy than, trusting a group of adult armed strangers.
Now, Last of Us 2, I can tell you what happened in that game. Some crazy ass shit. So let's just start here. Last of Us 2 is a good story because it's memorable and dramatic. It's not an untouchable masterpiece. It's not perfect. It's just a good, entertaining story. I went...
Not really. I mean, there's a lot of stupid moments in the game. I can think of a lot of games that have a way better story. Xenoblade Chronicles, Persona 4, Yakuza 0, Dragon Quest 11. You know, I mean, The Last of Us 2 story, at best, is mediocre, you know? It's just another typical revenge story. Except, you know, Ellie doesn't even go fulfill with the whole revenge stick. Also, there's a lot of moments that are, well, let's say very on the nose with their political bias.
Ellie, this place is a synagogue.
How can you tell?
One, there are menorah decorations on the wall. It's a Jewish thing.
Fuck. There are smart, level-headed people with functioning brains who don't like The Last of Us 2 for valid reasons. And this is not one of them.
Again, with the cherry picking of the comments, there are plenty of reasonable videos and comments that explain why The Last of Us 2 doesn't have that good of a story. Hell, I even provide one that does a good job at explaining the flaws with the game's narrative.
It's a Jewish thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, Obi Kenobi from Star Trek. He says, I love how Dunkey showed us the metric score to attempt to prove a point. Show us the user scores too. So Obi-Wan's getting a little bit senile in his old age, but just for you, Obi-Wan, I am now going to read some Metacritic user reviews. Here we go. Just know now.
So, a majority of the video is Dunkey just cherry-picking idiotic comments in order to make himself seem smarter. But this is the part where he pretty much reveals that he really is a sellout fat shill. You see, back in the day, Dunkey did a video criticizing mainstream game journalists like IGN. But now that IGN and these other mainstream sellout normie critics have the same aligning opinions with Dunkey when it comes to The Last of Us 2 being good, now Dunkey suddenly wants to dick suck their Metacritic positive review score. Honestly, I don't trust the Metacritic review score. I trust the user score more because, yeah, don't get me wrong, the user reviews, there are some stupid ones, but the user reviews are way more honest than any shill sellout game journalist. So which one is it, Tubby Tits? Do you hate IGN or do you like IGN because they have aligning opinions with you? And that, people, is why I don't consider Dunkey to be a reliable critic anymore. You know, it's okay to have shitty taste. Like, if you like The Last of Us 2 and you want to be a blind fanboy and just support The Last of Us 2 no matter what, despite the fact that the game has horrible writing and not so innovative gameplay, perfectly acceptable. But when you literally can't even, handle people shitting on your taste, when you're a critic who can't even take criticism, that's when I lose respect for you, And the fact that Dunkey has so many terrible arguments throughout this entire video is very telling to me that he's so easily offended, Like, geez, you got offended by random comments on the internet, and you're a millionaire, rich YouTuber, I don't know what else to say, man. Like, yeah, Dunkey's an unreliable YouTube critic. I've seen better YouTube critics. Spear Hunter, Some Call Me Johnny, Thor High Heels, The Angry Video Game Nerd. Yeah, I know he's mostly a comedy channel, but even his reviews are more honest and reliable than anything Dunkey will ever put out. And sorry to repeat myself again, but Dunkey is not some sort of pure-hearted soul like a big chungus. This guy has a history of insulting people and calling them slurs like retarded, That's why he got banned off of League of Legends and made a huge bitch fit about it, talking about, oh, they're censoring my free speech, but then you go ahead and censor your comments like a total fat pansy. How about you go hit a treadmill, Tubby Tits?